Okay. All right, the time is 6:36, and I call to order this meeting of the Tipp City Exempted Village School Board. We'll start with the Pledge of Allegiance. I
pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay. Mr. Stevens, will you please take attendance?
Mrs. Drum?
Here.
Mrs. McMurray?
Here.
Mrs. Dillard?
Here.
Mr. Thompson?
Here.
Mr. Maines is absent this evening, but we still have a quorum and can continue the meeting.
Excellent. All right, at this time, I would love a motion to approve the agenda.
I'll motion.
Moved by Mrs. McMurray. Is there a second?
I'll second.
Seconded by Mrs. Dillard. Is there any discussion? All right, hearing none, we'll proceed to vote on approval of the agenda.
McMurray?
Yes.
Dillard?
Yes.
Drum?
Yes.
Thompson?
Yes.
All right, motion passes. We're going to start with the next part. Mr. Moran?
So superintendent's comments, we are going to recognize some of our kids from LT Ball on Broadway, so we can come up to the front. So I'm going to call off students' names. If they could come up here, I'll get them the certificate. They can shake hands, high five the board members, and then you can go stand over there and we'll get pictures from Ms. Robbins over here, but also the parents, family members, you're welcome to come up and get pictures wherever you're here. So first off is, we'll start with Broadway Elementary. So we have a Perseverance Award. This goes to Nora Fellers. She's adjusting wonderfully as a new student and making extraordinary progress in the first grade. So Nora, come on up here.
Yeah. Get it, girl.
All right, down the line.
Yeah, good job, girl. Okay, I don't want a high five, I want a hug. Yeah, thanks, Nora.
All right,
Good
now
job,
just go over there.
You can go over there and
Get-
take a
get your
picture with
picture
Mrs.
taken and
Robbins,
smile.
okay? Good job, Sunshine.
Next, we have an Academic and Character Excellence Award, and that goes to Brady Lawson.
All right.
Brady is being recognized for his excellent academic achievements in the first quarter and his outstanding daily behavior, as he always shows respect, responsibility, and integrity. Congratulations.
Good job, buddy. High five or handshake? Yeah, good job, buddy. Excellent work.
And our third person and from Broadway is Leadership Through Kindness, and that goes to Gunnar Hartley. Gunnar noticed a student who was at recess, kind of by himself, having some struggles trying to throw a ball, as he went over, helped the kid, and taught him how to throw the football, correct? Congratulations. That's a very good person. All right, we're going to LT Ball, and LT Ball, we are recognizing the Peer Elected President Award and the Peer Elected Vice President Award. And the President Award is Anna Carroll. And Jay Settle, I don't think Jay's here. Oh, there he is. Come on over. So, this is a recognition of their desire to be active members of the student body, their willingness to lead, and their successful campaign and election that resulted in them being elected president and vice president of the 5th grade class. They will lead the Congress and work with staff to positively impact LT Ball. So good luck on your new terms. Congratulations. That's it.
All right. I love that. Wait.
Parents, you're welcome to stay, but if you'd like to go, you're welcome to go. Yeah, you're ready to go.
Promise ice cream.
Ah.
Oh, boy.
Very important.
For all of them? They also have
Even
rice.
Grandpa drove up from Kentucky for it.
Nice.
Thank you all.
Thank you.
Really bad. There's some folks that are running behind your house.
We saw
Be careful.
Last night, like, really almost had one.
Really?
It's coming home from National Honor Society. Right by their house.
That's all you need is to wreck another car.
Freaking out.
What's wrong?
I almost hit a deer right by the house because they're
Kettles?
running.
Oh, no.
The lost ones. 'Cause
Oh, okay.
they're running behind their house and like through ours across
Yeah.
Martindale and then across the field.
Yeah. Good time.
It ran like right
That's
by.
Becky Feller. She's one of our New English. You know Becky? Yeah. She's one of our new English teachers. I babysit the kiddos. Okay.
Are we back?
All
All
right,
right.
so the next item in the superintendent comments is the building project update. So again, I'll give a brief update to the board. So PK8 bid packages are in the post-bid interviews to verify that all scope and everything's included in their bids. The cost estimates should be available within a month for the total GMP for the PK8 building. The new LT Ball access road, so the north side, that's been roughed in, so we have a base coat of asphalt in the parking lot over here, which will serve as our parent drop-off during the beginning in 2026. And there's still some stormwater lines that are currently being worked on as well on the north side of the LT Ball here. Bus maintenance garage is within a month of completion. That is coming along nice. All the garage doors are up and the fencing's in. It looks really good. Demolition of the old building, the old garage, will begin once the new building is occupied. So we're hoping that maybe we can move in maybe the week after, start moving the week after Thanksgiving, start moving equipment over there in the process to be ready to go right away. Underground storage tanks, bids are due this Friday for the gas at the old, that's underground gas tanks at the old bus garage area. And the Tippecanoe High School renovation design work continues. We're working with the city and partners on developing the infrastructure and also looking at various items to upgrade and parking structure and in and out egress to make it a safe and efficient process for everybody, including buses, parent drop-off, and student parking. So that's ongoing. What questions might anybody have about the PK8 or the projects going on? All right.
All right.
Thank you.
All right. At this time, we will move to citizens' comments. All right. We'll start with Mr. Watson.
I wanted to start out tonight with two words we don't hear much of. We hear a lot about the physical heart, but we don't hear too much about the soul and the spiritual heart, which everybody has. As the dictionary says, the part of the human being that thinks, feels, and makes the body act is a religious concept. That's by the dictionary. And when death occurs, the soul separates from the physical body. The spiritual part is stirring, inspiring, and inspiriting. And then they actually had a meaning with the heart and soul hyphenated with all one's affections and energy. So that goes back to Mark the 12th chapter, with all your mind, strength, heart, and soul. I wanted to read the scripture that applies to the heart. It was in red, and as Jesus spoke it, then shall he answer them, verily I say unto you, inasmuch as he did it not to one of the least of these, he did it not to me. And these shall go away into everlasting punishment, but the righteous into life eternal. Matthew 5:8, blessed are the pure in heart, for they will see God. Luke 12:34, for where your treasure is, there will your heart be also. I wanted to read from the Tipp Gazette. There was an article in there by Greg Stinke. It said that a man's heart reveals who he is by its outward actions, whether by his speech or appearance. And he tells a story, if you saw him out mowing his yard, he wouldn't be wearing a suit and tie, or you would think he was crazy, but instead he dresses appropriately. Just as we may see the outward appearance, we can also see the heart of an individual. In many cases, what we see or even hear will speak loudly. If there was a volume knob on our heart, I'm certain that we would like to turn it either down or completely off so no one would know what is in our heart. However, and unfortunately, that is not the case. The Bible tells us twice by the Lord Jesus himself in Matthew and Luke, the scriptures I just read, of the heart, mouth speaketh. In other words, whatever the heart is full of, even in this case, overflowing with, will come out of the mouth. And I know that we all have found ourselves cupping our mouth with embarrassment. And then he gives a story of going to different restaurants in the area here, and he orders water, and he likes to keep it full, but as God's word says, there's one restaurant that always fills it to almost running over, so when he takes it, it overflows. And that's what God's word tells us to do, overflow with his Spirit. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Watson. Next is Kathy Bone.
Good evening. I'm Kathy Bone. Tonight's agenda includes 2 employment contracts, the superintendent's and the treasurer's, which both run through the end of July next year, 2026. The board's voting on them before new members take office in January, possibly so you, the board, can avoid facing questions about your actions to approve these contracts while not following board policy and asking for any goals or evaluating these 2 employees. These contracts are by design hidden from public scrutiny on the agenda. They're not being accessible to we the people, the taxpayers, unless Dave flips them up into public view on the agenda as I stand here. We can't see those. Neither Mr. Moran nor Mr. Stevens have offered up any goals for themselves since February of 2024. I've not heard mentioned by a board member asking for updated goals of either of them. I have not heard anyone on this board say that their evaluations have been conducted yearly, which is, according to board policy, the rules. Therefore, I stand here and I will evaluate them based on multiple criteria. Mr. Moran's goals in 2024, you can laugh, Mrs. Drum, if you'd like. You don't do your job, so I'm doing it for you. Mr. Moran's goals in 2024, as he stated, was to improve the facilities and raise academics for the students. Mr. Moran pushed hard and did get a bond levy passed with questionable elements. Additionally, we received inaccurate details about a 2-story building that was crucial to the bond. Instead, we're getting a 3-story building with no storm shelter. He also pushed the unisex restrooms into the plans, which this board stood behind. I am not sure these restrooms will not end up on the new plan since he might try to bypass the law again. In addition, there have been some new concerns about the use of funds and contracts since it passed. He said he was going to raise academics for the students. This was a 5-star school district on the Ohio report cards when he got here. Now we have sunk to a 4.5-star rating under his leadership. When you delve down into the numbers, we're losing ground on multiple areas of academics under his leadership. When this board decided to get rid of staff, Mr. Moran said on local TV that he would give up $10,000 of his salary. He has never brought that before the board for a vote, and not one of you have put it on the agenda to take a vote on it. Instead, you just let him keep that $10,000 and all the benefits for his retirement. He reaps off all of that as part of his salary. Now, for Mr. Stevens, the story is much the same. February 2024, he also gave his list of goals, which included balancing the budget. I guess the way to balance the budget was getting rid of teachers and other personnel, because somehow, under his guidance, since 2023, we went into deficit spending of $2.5 to $3 million. The board sat and watched and said nothing as we dipped into deficit spending, but they gleefully voted to get rid of staff to fix it. Although with all the new hiring and contracts approved without question, I must ask, are we really spending our money wisely? Mr. Stevens still has not resumed using the online Ohio checkbook, and despite my repeated efforts to address this with the board, you have not taken any action on this matter either. This would be transparency, but we know this board does not allow transparency. Mr. Stevens was previously required to provide the board with a monthly list of Freedom of Information Act FOIA requests he received, along with these updates on whether these requests were being addressed promptly. This board decided they don't care anymore to follow the law, so he doesn't have to produce that sheet to the board anymore. If you had that sheet, you would see that I made a FOIA request in April of this year. Although I have sent Mr. Stevens multiple follow-up emails, and even though he said the IT department pulled my request together months ago, he just has not had time since April to go through that information before he sends it to me. That's a clear violation of the law. Why does this board ask for no goals for Mr. Moran or Mr. Stevens? Why has this board not evaluated these two? I'm sure you'll try to cover your tracks when you get these contracts on the agenda to pretend you're functioning as if you're doing your job. However, I know you have not been doing your job. You will approve these two contracts as you function only as Mr. Moran's lapdogs. This board, Mr. Thompson, Mr. Maines, Mrs. Drum, Mrs. McMurray, and Mrs. Dillard, you are not working for this community as you were elected to do. And you will go down in the history books of this school district as one of the worst boards this school district has had in a long time. Thank you.
That was amazing.
All right, moving on. I'm sorry, did you have something to say? Oh, you just spoke.
Oh, I have a lot to say, Mrs. Drum,
I'm sure you
but
do.
my time's up, so I'll let you go along.
Sure you do.
Drop it.
Do your little thing.
All right, next, let's go ahead and move on to informational reports. Thank you.
Thank you. So we have just the MBCTC meeting minutes that are attached. Again, these are the routine minutes that are approved at the MBCTC meetings and provided to us. Rick Maines is finishing up his term with the MBCT board, and Ms. Diller will be joining that in January. Are there any other reports, updates from that board members would like to share? Cindy, yes?
So I did observe at the MVCTC this last week, and I really enjoyed it, and I want to thank the board for electing me to do that. Thank you. I think I'm going to enjoy that. I did attend the Tipp Monroe Community Services and the Park Board. I wouldn't say that anything spectacular. They approved a turkey trot at the Parks Board, and Tipp Monroe Community Services is looking for families to sponsor and adopt families for our Christmas season. So if you're a family or you know someone that get a group of friends together to sponsor, they have families that need adopted. And they're just really working right now on winter sports, of course, and the winter brochure. And there will not be a meeting this month or next month. So that's all.
Thank you. Any other reports?
I wasn't at T. Were you at T?
At the T meeting, they were just talking about, at least my recollection is the grants and the needing for doing some grant, or getting some more grant writing submissions. So that's something that will be talked about in the future.
Okay, cool.
All right, that's all. That concludes the information reports.
Okay. Next, let's move on to the treasurer's report.
And I'll turn this over to Mr. Stevens for the monthly financial report and appropriations amendments.
All right. So in the treasurer's report, we have completed the month of October. We have been able to properly reconcile the books, and we have our normal reports. Our reconciliation is on page 2. The Red Tree investment report is on page 3. And to go back to what Mr. Thompson had asked earlier, all of the investment earnings there, you can see what each of the accounts are bringing in. Our Star Ohio accounts are about 4%, up above 4%. Red Tree is currently tracking a little bit lower, but that's because it's not as liquid as the Star Ohio accounts. They have been invested in certain investments that have maturity dates ranging from 6 months to a year or two. It's all depending on the needs of the construction project and when we need to have funds available to pay out the contracts. On page 4, you can see the allocation of the interest to all of the different funds, all of the capital project funds for the OFCC construction and such. The interest earned on those funds must be tracked and must be deposited to those accounts. Again, for the arbitrage calculation, we have to know what we earned and how much needs to be paid back to the federal government. So, and then page 5 is our cash balance, or is the cash summary, and you can see the activity that's occurred, starting with the beginning balances, receipts, expenses, etc., and final balances as of 10/31/2025. The best part of this report is our budget versus actual. This is where we're comparing the 5-year, well, it's no longer the 5-year forecast, the forecast amount that the board had approved, and comparing it to where we are as of right now. If you look at the numbers, the property taxes, that's one of those timing of payment issues because it only happens twice a year. So we've collected roughly half of what we expect, and then the other half will be collected in February of next year. I do anticipate, because of the tax, the county auditor has reached out, I do believe that tax collections will come in higher than what was anticipated, but I don't know how much at this time. And then in revenues, we are currently at 43% of anticipated collections for the year. After completing, let's see, July, August, 4 months worth, we would think would be around 33.3%. We are showing 43% higher. I mean, we're higher at 43%. And again, that's because the taxes are collected twice a year. Down on the expenditure side, our payroll and benefits are currently tracking exactly where I would hope they would be. Payroll should be at 34.6, we're at 34.4, but we will see more salaries at the end of the year when it comes to paying out supplemental contracts for our year-round teacher workers that have supplemental contracts. Those get paid in the month of May, so we'll see those pick up near the end of the year, end of the fiscal year. I really have nothing in particular to point out. Are there any questions that any board members might have at this time?
Could you reiterate what you had stated during our work session about the interest that we're receiving on our investments can you explain that again?
Oh, yeah. So during the work session, Mr. Thompson had asked about the investments and if we're limited to what we can invest in. And yes, we are. We are limited by Ohio Revised Code 135. We have to invest in safe investments, ones that have very low risk. This includes CDs. This includes bonds that are issued by the federal government or bonds that are issued by state governments in the United States. We are not allowed to invest in foreign governments. There are very limited amounts. We don't invest in stocks. We can invest in some commercial paper, which is ownership of some companies, but it's very limited. Our investment advisors, Red Tree, have a copy of the investment policy that the board has approved. The investment policy is also on file with the Auditor of State's office. The Auditor of State's office will review our investments and make sure that we're properly investing in the right items, but because of the certain things that we can invest in, the investment rates are not as good as if we were able to go out as a private investor and try to get more than 10, 15%. I mean, if you could do that all the time, that's fantastic, but it's not realistic because of risk. But we are limited in what we can invest in. And again, we will be submitting reports. Will be done by Bricker and Eckler, our bond counsel. They will be doing an arbitrage calculation. We are not allowed to earn more interest than the interest rate that's on our bonds that we issued. Anything that's over that amount, we will have to return. So, anything else, Cindy?
No, thank you.
Okay. All right, that's what that's all I have for the financial report. That is online. People can see those. The next item is the appropriation amendments. This does require a motion to approve the appropriation amendments for fiscal year 2026.
All right, so at this time, I would take a motion for approval of the fiscal year 2026 appropriation amendments.
All motion.
Moved by Mr. Thompson. Is there a second?
I'll second.
Second by Mrs. Dillard. Is there any discussion?
I'll just note that the appropriation amendment has been attached, and we can see that there are increases in many funds. None of them are the general fund. This is just because of, so in our permanent improvement fund, we're looking to increase appropriations for an unplanned purchase of a bus lift for the new bus garage. It's been determined that that is a necessary purchase to help us more safely work on our buses. Right now, we don't have the ability to lift the buses off the ground, and this is a portable bus lift system that can be moved throughout the garage. And so I know that the transportation director is very excited to have this in the new bus garage. We also have increases in the 004 and 010 fund. That is for construction project purchases. And so I had started with a lower amount, but based on the activity that we're going to see this year, I've increased that. We do have the current cash balance for both of those, so we're not in any issue. We're not in any risk of violating the appropriation expense rules. And we did receive some initial budgets for some of the high school clubs in our 200 funds. Also, there were some budget updates in the athletic funds, and our tech credit grant that we have been using for training of teachers. This is a 100% reimbursement grant from the state. I initially started it at $140,000 for the year. We're actually going to probably do $150,000, which I believe is 6 cohorts of 15 teachers each at $2,000 apiece is what we're reimbursed. So that is a 100% reimbursed grant from the state. And I think this is the 3rd year we participated in the tech credit grant. And that's all I have.
All right. Any questions? All right, let's proceed to vote.
Thompson?
Yes.
Dillard?
Yes.
Drum?
Yes.
McMurray?
Yes.
Motion passes. Okay. Let's move on to new business.
Consent item,
Oh,
yeah.
sorry, consent, my
New
bad.
business, yeah.
Oh, yeah, consent.
So, thank you. So the consent agenda, just routine items again. Resignation, supplemental substitutes, the actual job description and salary schedule for the HR administrative assistant part-time that we talked about last month is on there. Some corrections, donation, acceptance that we're appreciative of, and then the Miami County Foundation grant that was just given to our LT Ball music program.
Excellent. Okay. Can I get a motion, or no? Yes, a motion for the consent agenda.
I'll motion to approve the consent agenda.
Is there a second?
I'll second.
Second by Mr. Thompson. We don't need any discussion because it's consent agenda items, so let's go ahead and vote.
McMurray?
Yes.
Thompson?
Yes.
Dillard?
Yes.
Drum?
Yes, motion passes. Okay. All right, let's move on to new business. First is going to be the approval of grant agreement. I need a motion to approve the grant agreement between the Tipp City Exempted Village Schools grantee and the Miami County Land Revitalization Corporation grantor for the building demolition and site Station, thank you, Revitalization Program Grant Fund funded through the Ohio Department of Development, House Bill 33, Assistant, listing number DEV 2023-204925. And then under public content is the agreement.
All motion?
Moved by Mrs. Dillard. Is there a second?
I'll second.
Second by Mrs. McMurray. Is there any discussion? Hearing none, we'll proceed to vote.
Dillard,
Yes.
McMurray,
Yes.
Drum,
Yes.
Thompson.
Yes.
Motion passes for the approval of the grant agreement between the Building Demolition and Site Revitalization Program. Next, I will have a motion to approve the purchase of column lifts from Anglin Equipment, Kentucky, NSA, in the amount of $55,735 for the use in the new Tipp City Schools bus garage as presented.
I'll make the motion.
Motion by Mr. Thompson. Is there a second?
I'll second.
Second by Mrs. Dillard. Is there any discussion?
The funds for this is coming out of,
The PI fund.
PI.
This is our 003 fund
okay.
for new equipment. Because it should definitely last more than 5 years.
Oh, yeah. Got it.
All right. Hearing no more discussion, we'll proceed to vote.
Thompson,
Yes.
Dillard,
Yes.
Drum,
Yes, motion passes.
McMurray.
Yes.
Sorry. Motion passes. Next is a library trustee appointment. I would love a motion to appoint Carrie Arblaster to fill the trustee position for the Tipp City Public Library Board of Trustees starting on January 1, 2026 through December 31st of 2030.
I'll motion.
Moved by Mrs. McMurray. Is there a second?
I'll second.
Second by Mrs. Dillard. Any discussion?
Thank you, Carrie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you.
And that was McMurray Dillard, correct?
Yes, that is correct. All right. Hearing no other discussion, we'll proceed to vote.
McMurray,
Yes.
Dillard,
Yes.
Drum,
Yes.
Thompson.
Yes.
All right, motion passes for Mrs. Gary Arblaster to fill the trustee position for the Tipp City Public Library. Next, for informational purposes, is the Neola 44.1 Fall 2025 updates. This is our first read. All of the policies are under public content. Any discussion?
I had some questions about some clarification because of state law, and Aaron clarified that for me, so I appreciate that. I'm good. I read them all.
Okay. All right. Next, we're going to move on to a motion for approval of the superintendent contract for Mr. Aaron Moran.
You get the, oh, we
It was
should.
just
a
information.
first
We just
read.
have to read it.
Yeah.
Just read it.
Yeah, yeah.
Sorry.
No, you're good. Next is the approval of the superintendent's contract for Mr. Aaron Moran. Is there a motion?
I'll motion.
Okay, moved by Mr.
Second.
Thompson and then seconded by Mrs. Dillard. All right, is there any discussion?
Did we discuss passing it as is tonight and then making the amendment?
We can do that, or we can make an amendment now to add it. So,
Okay.
I just want to say that thank you, gentlemen, both for having conversations with us and going over your goals and things like that moving forward. We really appreciate it. I personally don't think that anybody should be put in front of other people and belittled or made to feel any way about anything. And so I very much have enjoyed that we've been able to have private conversations about all of the things that we have concerns about or things that we see you guys doing well. So thank you very much for those honest conversations.
Here, here.
Any other discussion? Hearing none, we'll proceed to vote.
Are we doing an amendment?
No, we're just gonna, we'll leave it now and then do the amendment later.
Okay. Thompson,
Yes.
Dillard,
Yes.
Drum,
Yes.
McMurray.
Yes.
All right, motion passes. Next is the approval of the treasurer's contract for Mr. Stevens. So we'll need to motion through and then table.
I'll motion.
Okay, moved by Mrs. McMurray,
I'll second.
second by Mr. Thompson. Any discussion?
I recommend that we table the contract approval for Mr. Stevens until either the special meeting on the 25th or our next regular board meeting.
Okay, let's go with the do you have a preference?
I would prefer the 25th if we can, or we can wait. It doesn't matter.
I prefer the 25th, personally.
Okay. All right. We'll do November 20, is it 25th? Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, fantastic. Is there a second to the motion to table?
I'll second.
Second by Mrs. Dillard. All right, and then we will go ahead and, any discussion on that? All right, then we'll go ahead and vote to table the contract.
So we have a motion to table the contract from Mr. David Stevens to the special, move it to the special meeting on November 25th, 2025.
Yes.
McMurray,
Yes.
Dillard,
Yes.
Drum,
Yes.
Thompson.
Yes.
All right, motion passes. Next, I need a motion for approval for the 2025-2026 Tip City Schools gifted plan.
I'll motion to approve the gifted plan.
Okay, moved by Mrs. Dillard. Is there a second?
I'll second.
Second by Mrs. McMurray. Is there any discussion?
I have a couple things I
Okay.
wanted to say. I just wanted to thank Don Scott for all of the hard work as the Director of Teaching and Learning. I just wanted to point out the strengths of the plan include the continuum of services, the focus on collaboration between parents, teachers, students, and the ongoing, and the coaches, and the professional development facilitator at the high school. It just really focuses on ongoing input and feedback between the parties that are writing the WEP plans. And the third strength I felt in the plan is the professional growth model and professional development of our teachers is ongoing.
Absolutely.
So thank you very much, Dawn.
Yep.
And
She's great.
Okay, awesome. Thank you, Mrs. Dillard. Is there any other discussion? All right, hearing none, we'll proceed to vote on the gifted educational plan.
Dillard,
yes.
McMurray,
Yes.
Drum,
Yes.
Thompson.
Yes.
All right, motion passes. Our next upcoming meeting is,
Tuesday, November 25th.
thank you, Tuesday, November 24th,
5th.
5th, sorry.
Yep. That's at 10 a.m.
It's at 10 a.m. at the Board of Education office.
Yes. We have-
And then-
We have 3 items to go over for that. That is the chillers for the high school.
Yep.
We like to add a batting cage repair for some time because we got programs
Mm-hmm.
starting. We need to fix that. And the third one is the shared resource center contract
Okay.
with payroll. from
And
the
we also
resignation.
now need to add.
We could add
Yeah.
a treasurer
contract.
contract to that as well.
Okay.
I'm sorry, what did you say the third thing was?
The shared resource
Oh.
for payroll
Yeah.
as a
Yes, yes,
bridge
yes.
until we fill that position.
And then the next meetings are on.
And then it's December, what is that?
16th, 17th?
Yeah.
16th is the
16th.
Tuesday.
16th,
Yeah.
December 16th.
So our work
Yep.
session will begin at 5 p.m. and then our board meeting will begin at 6:30 here at LT Ball. Okay.
And the only other thing with the miscellaneous is the swearing of the library trustee.
Yes.
Everyone but you, Amber, will be eligible for this. Typically, we have a board member swear in, the library trustee, and that meeting date is January 8th at 6 p.m. So if you could look at your calendars and
Yeah.
let us know, we could have somebody there, that'd
And
be
we'll
great.
appoint, that'll be appointed at our next regular meeting. in
But
December.
the January 8th at 6 p.m. is the date and time, so
I'm
we
good.
have it now. So we can figure it out in December.
Cool.
Okay.
Okay. All right, at this time, I would love a motion to adjourn the meeting.
All motion.
Moved by Mrs. McMurray. Is there a second?
I'll second.
Second by Mrs. Dillard. Is there any discussion? Hearing none, we'll proceed to vote.
McMurray?
Yes.
Dillard?
Yes.
Drum?
Yes.
Thompson?